Good evening, everybody. It's not Monday night, it's Sunday night. And no, Nervous Chat hasn't gone a day early. We're having a special chat tonight with Nick from Walking with the Woods. Excuse me, I just all of a sudden got something in my eye. A little pre-quiz chat. We thought it'd be a bit of fun to have a chat about the subject of tonight's quiz, which of course is girl bands. And for me to have a little test of Nick's knowledge of girl bands, of course. I have prepared a couple of questions, nothing too taxing. Fully appreciate that he's only recently recovered, bless him, from an illness. So I thought I'll be kinder than normal. So without further ado, let's bring Nick into the chat. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Nick.
How you doing? It's good to see that smile again.
Yeah, I've been poorly. Man illness is, man stuff. But yeah, I'm better now anyway. I was going to cancel. We spoke about it earlier on. I was going to cancel tonight's quiz, but because we were doing this show as the pre-show, I didn't want to let you down. So here I am, and I'm better than I was yesterday anyway. So all good, all good.
Yeah, there is a lot of it going around, and I think it's coming from schools.
Yes, get rid of the kids. Pesky kids.
Yeah, absolutely. They bring all the bugs in. There's no doubt about that. They are the reason for the bugs. So I think that's the answer, isn't it? Just get rid of them. Boarding school.
Ban
that's
the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, do you know what?
Totally.
Whatever it was that was just in my eye, I've just rubbed it in even further, and it's now watering like mad.
Oh man.
That's better. Oh, so yeah, girl bands. I mean, interesting choice for a quiz. I mean, obviously, your music quizzes seem to be, your speciality, really. You cover a lot of music quizzes on the channel. A lot of them I've really enjoyed playing, although failed dismally at them. You've made me certainly rethink how much I know about music in general. So
it's very hard,
girl
isn't
bands?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. It was just brought up in conversation one day. Is your eye okay, by the way?
Let's talk about
that quickly.
It's just when you get something in it and then it stings a little bit and it's it'll water itself out. I'm good. I'm not crying. I'm not sad. I'm all right.
I think it was more. I mean, Claire's sorting the kids out at the moment, getting the germs, but I think it was more. Claire struggles so much with girl band questions. And she's singing along all day long, but she struggles all the time when we're doing the puzzles and everything else on the quiz. So I just thought, that'd be fun. Let's just do a full quiz and let's watch her squirm and everything else. So that's probably where it came from, to be honest. But it's been quite a tough quiz to put together. We always have 35 questions. So that never changes. But there's been a lot of songs, like a lot of popular songs by girl bands and girl groups, but not that many bands, groups, etc. Like it's quite hard to just read off the top of your head, maybe 20 or 30. So the criteria really was you have to have 3 or more members. So not 2. If you're 2, you're a duo or a duet, in my opinion.
That's a duet. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it has to be 3. It have to be all female, girl band, girl group. At least at the highest point of their career. Like there might have been bands that went down to a duo at some point, or started off as a duo, but then became a threesome, for lack of a better term, like during their highest point, or they might have included like men or whatever else. But yeah, you have to be a girl band or girl group of 3 or more members, all female, at the highest point of your career. So that's where it came. That's what we're playing with tonight, basically. So
yeah, like you say, when I was obviously trying to write some questions for yourself tonight, I thought, oh, this will be easy. I know loads of girl bands, and then I sat down and went, actually, I don't. You've got the textbook ones that spring to mind, Bananarama. Everybody
they may be in it. They may be in tonight's quiz.
But then when you start to try and think a bit further back or even closer to modern day, it starts to become a bit more, oh, aren't they an all girl band? And then you realize no, the drummer's a guy, or or the bass guitarist is a guy, or and it really then you sort of then get scratching around for what you think, and then obviously there's solo artists that started off in girl groups. You know, and yeah, it was actually more difficult than I thought it was going to be, and Google came into play quite a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, tonight we're going from, I think we're ranging from like 1964 all the way up to, I think it's up to 2020. I don't think there's anyone from 21, 22, 23 in there. So up to 2020. I think that like the 90s is really my knowledge of girl bands, and that's when it kind of exploded really into the girl bands that we know today. Before that, I don't really think they were classed as girl bands. I think it was more, you had the kind of the boy band sensation with like Take That and E17, etc. And obviously the Spice Girls. I think the Spice Girls is probably what kicked it off.
Yes.
Groups before that, I don't think, like, no one, I think TLC were before the Spice Girls. I mean, we'll find out tonight probably, but I don't think TLC were ever considered a girl band, not in the same way anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they ever classified themselves as a girl band. I think they were just a group, a singing group. You know, and as you say, I think the Spice Girls kicked off the real girl power thing, didn't they? And then all of a sudden it became cool to be identified as a girl band rather than just as a band, I suppose. And then that obviously proved consistent through X Factor and things where, you know, girl groups seem to do better, and you know, and so I think that as you say, that probably wasn't what kicked it off. So all the girl bands you remember, Nick, have you got a favorite?
It has to be Spice Girls. Like, really, I think I mean, I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. So Spice Girls was what, 90, 95, 96, I think, something like that. What was I, 11, 12, probably just getting into like music and like really paying attention to it. So, I mean, I guess Spice Girls, really. I don't know if I really have like a favorite. But I guess like if you were to ask me a question, I would probably know more about the Spice Girls than, I don't know, girl babes or whatever they're called. I don't know.
Do you think that's largely though because they, as well as being obviously a highly successful band, they actually lived a lot of their life through the media, didn't they? So they were in our faces constantly, whether on stage or off. They were always there. And that's why we're so familiar with them. It's like we really knew them.
Yeah, definitely. All the time on the television. So, like, you know, like we just said, it was always on television, every magazine, every newspaper. And when you're like 12, 13, you start paying attention to the media. It's kind of different today because everything's on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and whatever else. But back then, you used to actually watch television. And every time you watch television, the Spice Girls were on there doing something. So I'd say the Spice Girls are probably my knowledge anyway. That's where. So we've got 35 questions tonight. All about the Spice Girls.
Perfect. And I'll still get most of them wrong.
I think it will be the Spice Girls as a band, though, not when Jerry left and what she did and Emma B and whatever else. So it has to be the band, really.
No, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we touched on that. I mentioned there, Bananarama. I think they were one of the earliest girl bands I remember. Obviously didn't identify probably as a girl band, but certainly the one I really remember from the sort of bit. I was born late 70s, so I was a couple of years ahead of you. So I was aware of people like, as you know, Bananarama, Tapao, the Bangles, of course. You know, and those
some of them maybe. Some of them may be around tonight.
I hope so. I really hope so. I could probably only remember one song from each of them. Bananarama. I'd have to tell you the story. The song that they did, Venus, I think it's called.
Maybe
sticks in my head purely because when I was at secondary school, we had a science teacher called John. Well, obviously we didn't call him John, but his first name was John, and some of the should we say the less well-behaved lads in my class decided to reword that particular song, referring to this science teacher as a particular part of a male anatomy that rhymes with Venus.
What could that be?
So that one always sticks in my head, and they used to literally sing it to him throughout the lesson. They were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one sticks in my memory, probably for all the wrong reasons. But you know, it's
I may have to I may have to sing those lyrics in about 2 hours time. when we start the quiz.
I was going to go through them, and then I thought, no, I won't, just in case they're in the quiz. So when we go off air, I'll give you the reworded version, and you'll know exactly where we're coming from.
There we go. There we go. Good.
But
hey, Oscar. Not Oscar.
Hey,
sorry.
how you doing?
And Oscar maybe as well.
Lovely to have you back in the UK. Hope you had a great time in Energylandia. Looked like you're having living your best life over there. Can't say that I didn't get a load of FOMO from that.
Yeah, definitely. We need to go there.
Yeah, oh, me too. It's on my bucket list massively.
Yeah,
massively on my bucket list. So obviously, Spice Girls are the one that you really remember.
Yep.
Is there a favourite hit that you've got from any of the girl bands, particularly?
There's a lot of good songs out there. You know, I really like some of the Girls Aloud Loud songs. I think it's something new. Might be one of their songs. I think.
Okay.
I don't want to talk too much about this.
No, absolutely. I'm just sort of thinking. You know, we could, but we're going to be talking so cryptically. It could actually be quite interesting. Imagine we could rebrand this chat so many times on YouTube as "Can you guess what we're talking about?"
Really. Yeah.
But you know, it's.
I'd say something new. I'm trying to think now of songs. They remade. It's not in tonight's quiz, but I'm sure they redid or did a cover of "Jump," which was on the Love Actually soundtrack.
That's right. Yes, it was.
The best Christmas movie ever, by the way.
It's our Christmas Eve movie. We watch it every Christmas Eve religiously before bed.
Kind of have to.
Love Actually, because the other great song in there is the one from the Sugar Babes.
What one's that?
The one that's playing. I won't name it just in case, but it's playing as they walk through the airport. In their video.
Claire's just walked in. Claire, Sugar Babes song from Love Actually.
It's a really nice one. That one, I like that one.
Oh, Claire likes it, but don't.
That's the one.
Yeah, that one. Oh, can you hear that? Too Lost in You. Oh, that's not in tonight's quiz, so it's okay. You know what, Oscar? Apparently, Oscar. You need to change your name to like M's Airtime, so I don't keep getting.
Or M, start your own YouTube account.
Yes, yeah. Walk This Way was going to be in tonight's quiz because it's a song that's gone through generations, because it's you know what I mean? And that's because we have people from, I don't know, we have like probably 18-year-olds playing all the way up to like 100, really. So yeah, it passes through generations. So we try and put something like that into every quiz, so it appeals to everyone and not just like a little niche category. So yeah, Walk This Way was going to be in it, but I no, it didn't make the final cut, unfortunately. But it's pretty cool that you was in the video. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is quite Em's got some real claims to fame, actually. We've had a discussion before about some of the things that she's been involved in her career. And it's pretty impressive.
She was in Jumanji as well, I think.
I believe so. Yes, I believe she was. Is it Karen Gillan's stunt double?
Yeah, it was Ruby Roundhouse, was it?
That's it. Yeah. I must admit, I was so impressed with that costume. It was just unbelievable. Fair play to Em for going all out like that. I'm not sure.
Was some serious stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have the confidence or to really sort of go full outfit cosplay, whatever you want to call it. Like that. But fair play. I absolutely take my hat off to anybody that can do that. Because of course James as well, Coaster Chicken, was all cosplayed up as well, wasn't he? And I was like, this is amazing. I would never have the confidence to do this. So fair play.
I think if I lived closer and it wasn't like a 5-hour journey, I probably would have thought more about that. Or if I was staying at the hotel, But yeah, it was the 5-hour car journey at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't really think about cosplay. I just want to get there on time.
I was going to say, I can't imagine that you roll out of bed at sort of, well, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning,
Probably,
and
yeah.
think, what cosplay character shall I dress up as today?
yeah. But if I'd thought about it, then yeah, it would have been fun. Maybe at an Alton Towers event, like at Scarefest or something like that. Maybe.
Or maybe when they open up Project Exodus, if it goes with the Egyptian theme, we can all come as Ramesses or Tutankhamun and
or I'm not going to step all over the quiz again.
You nearly went there, didn't you? I was like, he's not going to say it. He's not going to say it, is he?
There's 2 questions tonight that would fit that criteria anyway, but I can't say which one. One you'll never get in a million years. To be honest, I'm sick of people getting above 30 in my quizzes. So I think tonight it's a little bit harder. I'd like to think it would be between 20 and 25 for, like, if you've got some knowledge, maybe 25. But I think if anyone gets more than 30, I'm going to send it to VAR. Definitely. It's not, and they'll get it wrong anyway. But it's not. I think it's on the challenging side, because it's like, it's not just 90s or 2000s or whatever else. Like it's going a long way back in time to today's world. But every song is relevant to today. Like it has to be. It can't have been forgotten about 20, 30 years ago. It needs to be still current in today's world. So yeah. Anyway, we were talking about Merlin parks for a second. Anyway, Claire said you're going down quicker than a Merlin ride on opening day.
Ooh, so, I don't know if Em's playing tonight, because she said something about being at her folks for dinner.
They should play as well.
Absolutely. Well, I was just about to say exactly the same
More
thing.
the merrier. If it makes us look better. If we get 2 or 3 more players, we look better.
Yeah. Well, I'm persuading my I've got my eldest is with me for the weekend this weekend, so I'm hoping to persuade him to join in as well. He usually does, to be fair, when he's here. He likes to join in and look embarrassed by how little he knows.
Is it like Small Tiger or something? Is that
he came in as fake tigers? That was my fake tigers. It's I know you'll have watched it. There was a Chessington vlog last year when he made, for whatever reason, we were walking through Land of Tigers, and he decided to out of the blue make a comment that all the tigers at Chessington were all fake tigers. They were all robots, animatronics.
Oh, really?
And ever since then,
jump in and find out.
It's been a standing joke. I haven't let him live it down. Every time we go to Chessington, I always say to him, we'll go to Land of Tigers because I want to check to see if they've replaced them yet with fake tigers.
Somebody's
that's
lying about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe there's fake lions as well. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that's how he signed in.
Make sure fake tigers is not a cheater on tonight's quiz. I can't think of any more big cat puns, to be honest. That's it. That's my knowledge.
That was perfect.
That was perfect. It was Anyway, it's the pre-show. The main event starts at 8 p.m.
It does. I actually had.
I didn't get my reference anyway.
The VT for it. I was going to play, but we can play that if you want to for tonight's quiz.
Well,
I think
I'm here in person to talk about it, but you can.
Well, that's what exactly. So I wasn't actually gonna worry too much about it, because why would I want a VT when I've got the main man right in front of me?
Exactly, the main man. See, you said it as well.
Virtually. Well, there you go. See, oh god, that's another one. So we'll just keep these puns going all night now, without even realizing we're doing it.
It's a winner so far.
Absolutely.
I was thinking, I mentioned it the other week to we were just going back to Jumanji quickly, not talking about the quiz for a second. It's a very small area, and obviously it's based on the game boards, so it's kind of like, from a bird's eye view, it would look exactly like that. I think there's a picture of it, isn't there? Like a realistic picture of the game boards in the queue line at Jumanji as you go through by the truck van, whatever it's called. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
I think
what you mean,
Nigel's in there somewhere. He's still trying to get back home or something.
Bless.
But we were talking about is it Asia? Is it one of the lands? It's got cobra in it and the swinging monkeys. Is it
Wild Asia? Yes.
Wild Asia? That's it. I was thinking. I mean, if that was redeveloped into Jumanji rather than whatever area was there before, or I don't know if they've redeveloped it, if it was just lands there before, but I think that would have made the area bigger, and they would have had some more rides that were already rides that were there before that would have fit in with the Jumanji theme. Because it's just I mean, I've not been there since opening day, so I don't know what it's been like on a weekend, and I know they've got virtual queuing, so that kind of probably eases the queues up a little bit. But it's just like it must be absolutely congested in there on a busy day.
I've been on 2 weekends now. I did a Sunday the week after it opened, or the week of opening, shall we say?
Yeah.
And then I did yesterday, and because what's happening is, although there's the virtual queue, there's for me, I can only guess that the mentality is that once that QR code appears, you've got to get to that queue line as fast as you possibly can. So people are entering the area a good hour probably or so before the QR code appears, and just sort of milling around. And what it's doing is it's pumping the wait times on the 2 flat rides up quite significantly. I mean, yesterday neither Ostrich Stampede nor Mamba Strike went below about 50 minutes.
To be honest, I don't know what it's like now, but on opening day, sitting down waiting for your restraints to get checked, that took about 30 minutes on the Ostrich Stampede. Is it still very slow?
It still seems to be very slow loading and unloading. And then and it's almost like to compensate, then you get about a 30-second ride. Or it breaks down. And they just have to get you off anyway. But it's quite crazy. I think people have got to get used to the idea that, you know, I don't know if it's well known enough that just because that QR code goes green, you've got 45 minutes.
I was going to say, I wasn't sure if it was an hour, but you've got 45 minutes definitely to get
45 minutes to use it. So and it just I just think that for whatever reason, I don't know whether it's people not reading or whatever, that the actual knowledge of how to use the system isn't great. So I'm actually in the process of making a video about how to use that system, and trying to answer some FAQs in it as well, because I think, you know, I spoke to so many people yesterday who just didn't understand it, just didn't understand how it works. And were complaining because of that lack of knowledge, rather than, you know, that it wasn't working. It was just they didn't understand. So
because people don't read.
No. Well, you know, when you're presented, I know I'm bad for it. You're presented with a paragraph of how it works. You scan. You know, at best you scan.
No one reads any. Like, I didn't really understand. I mean, I saw it flashed up when I was looking at my phone. Like, you have to use this within 45 minutes or 40 minutes, and obviously you get a countdown. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known or read anything. I tried to keep as many spoilers away as possible. I tried to keep myself away from spoilers, I should say. But yeah, definitely, bully for you. I totally agree. Poor flat rides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ostrich is just terrible.
I think you're absolutely right. That I think putting Jumanji over in Wild Asia, get rid of
that would have been fun, though, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, the Dodgems could have been just rethemed to whatever. I mean, it would have saved them a lot of money, probably. Monkey Swingers would have fit the thing. Just give it a fresh coat of paint. You know, Cobra, of course, it fits completely. And apart from that, I don't think there's anything else in that Wild Asia area, is there? It's kind of like a bit fun parky, like a fun fairy, and not very theme parky.
It's you've got that that sort of children's play thing, which I've never actually even been in. That's got the air gun things, but that's quite often either closed or not working. And then right down the back, if you keep going right the way down, but most people don't even know it's there. You've got the lorikeets, but again, most people don't even know that they're there.
Yeah. I mean, there must have been a reason why they couldn't put it there or redevelop that area. I don't know if there's animals or the zoo might be part of it,
Maybe,
like just behind the trees or whatever else. But
yeah,
it would have been a nice idea. Just make the area bigger. You could have still had the game boards, but I don't know. Maybe stretched it out because the whole area is about Mandy. That's Mandrill Mayhem for the less cool kids.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, everything else is just kind of meh. Pretty standard stuff, really.
Yes,
yeah, it's good. I'm waiting for Claire to. Yeah, I'm waiting for Claire to get on it. To be honest, at some point, and we will do definitely. We just need we'd have to bring those pesky kids, unfortunately. But we'll have a good weekend there anyway, and we'll try and stay at the hotel maybe and actually, enjoy ourselves.
I think you should. And I mean, Chessington is a great one for kids. Kids of all ages.
Yeah, definitely.
It probably is arguably one of the best parks in the UK. For such a broad age range, it's got a great appeal. I know that once Elijah hits the 90 centimeter mark, there's about 7 or 8 rides there that he'll be able to do.
Yeah.
Gabriel can do everything there now apart from one ride. And he's only 1.2. So it's great. I think it's a good family place to go.
Definitely.
So
because it's more grown up than Legoland.
Much more,
but it's still I mean, we like Legoland as well, but it's more of a grown up, and they're not too far away from each other, of course. But it's more of a grown up kids park, basically, I guess.
It is, absolutely. It fits in that slot, doesn't it, between sort of 5-year-olds and Thorpe Park age, basically.
Definitely. I mean, it's not the same, of course, but it's kind of like Disney. Disney's kind of the same. It's kid friendly, but there's also some adult stuff as well. I mean, I can't really compare Chessington to Disney, so. but you know what I mean.
But I know what you mean. It occupies that same gap, doesn't it? For its target demographic is a similar demographic. It's it's family. It's about family, I think, as much as anything else. And speaking of Disney, actually, I don't know if, obviously with being unwell and stuff, you may not have heard, but I'm fingers crossed going to be going to Disneyland Paris next year at some point, hopefully early next year. So we're quite excited about that. We're just working out the finer details. If we go, it'll be mid-March, I think.
March, good time.
Is when we're looking at. So we're just ironing out the final finances and it's because of course it's pay for the hotel and the park tickets. That's fine, that's doable. So but then what we're going to need for food, ferries, petrol, it's all those extra bits, isn't it, that you need to
that's what people don't think about as well, I think. But I mean, we're pass holders. We're pretty much there. I'd say we're there 12 months a year. We probably have 8 to 10 trips. Really, maybe more. We're pretty regular over there, to be honest. Sometimes we take the kids as well, but normally not. We meet some friends over there. You know what? It's so much cheaper if you don't take the kids.
Everything always is.
I know, but pass holders will stay off site. We're not bothered about eating in all the expensive Disney restaurants. We'll grab a McDonald's or whatever else.
That's the thing, isn't it? As adults in a park, I mean, when I go to a park on my own, I rarely eat lunch.
Well, exactly. I've never really been to a theme park and had food. A few times recently, I've been with friends in theme parks, and they're always like, "Oh, what are we going to have for lunch? Let's go and have pizza and pasta or whatever." And I'm like, "But I want to go ride Mandy and Oblivion and Wicker Man and stuff." But,
and
I can't go on rides. I can't go on rides after I've eaten. So I like to just go on rides and enjoy myself. And I can eat food I'll get a McDonald's at the service station or something on the way home.
No, absolutely. I agree. We quite often just take snacks.
Yeah, definitely. It's different if it's something like Mardi Gras and there's an event going on. But if it's just a regular day, then no, not for expensive hot dogs, really. I mean, if I really have to eat, then I will eat. But I'm not too bothered about eating in theme parks. But yeah, talking about Disney, we're there for Pride weekend from the 16th to the 18th or 19th, and we're going live on Friday the 16th. Going back a few months to, when was it? Was it April? Yeah, it must have been April. Last time I was on your show, we was at Disneyland, and the weather was dreadful. Hey Kaz, how you doing?
Evening, Kaz.
Weather was absolutely dreadful, as you know. I think we worked well. I think we had a good show anyway, but it could have been a lot better. My live stream was affected by the weather, and they didn't have the drones, and all the kind of performances were cut short and whatever else. So from April anyway, they had a brand new show called Disney Dreams. It's like an old show that they've reimagined and brought back. But on the Friday night, the 16th, we're back live from Paris, specifically just to live stream Disney Dreams again. So yeah, hopefully some of you guys will join us for that, because I was disappointed that we couldn't bring it properly to you anyway. So yeah, this time we're gonna do our best and have some fun at Pride weekend. Hopefully anyway. Hopefully it's all gonna go ahead okay in there, because of all the strikes that's happening out there at the moment.
I believe there are. I've heard they're Tuesdays. Strike day is Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean they had one on the Saturday just gone. Yesterday, actually. So yeah, I mean, if they want to make a statement, then they've got like a huge event coming up in a few weeks' time. I mean, go on strike for that. I mean, that'll be a big statement and get a lot of people talking. But we'll see. Anyway, we'll see. But totally understand why they're doing it. It's just let's just box it off. Let's just have a conversation between unions and just get it resolved, because there you go, really. But
yeah, I think sometimes these things drag on, and actually people are it's the people who are representing the people who are aggrieved, that are refusing to compromise or agree or sit down or whatever it is that's causing the problem, whereas the actual man on the ground is happy to sit down and talk about it. But
it's only the normal people that suffer, really. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, the train strikes. We're getting on to talking about strikes now for some reason.
We'll talk about everything.
A wide range on this show, on the Anxious Rider show. But it was, train strikes yesterday. It's a Saturday. You got the FA Cup final. You got the Epsom Derby. You got like Beyonce, I think, was in town as well. In town, in this country somewhere. Like it's I think they chose the strike day after the FA Cup final was announced as well, on like what day and whatever else. So let's just get it resolved so we can all enjoy our life.
There's a lot to be said for going back to British Rail, when I don't remember British Rail ever being on strike ever.
Oh really?
They may not have run trains very well, but they were never on strike. They always ran. Eventually, they just, but they were never cancelled or on strike. So Evening, Mouskies. Lovely to see you guys. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Mouskies in the house. The Houskies.
Funny you mentioning Mardi Gras, actually, because tomorrow night, I'm on Nervous Chat. I've got the 4 of the Ents team coming in from Thorpe Park.
Oh wow!
Who are heavily involved in Mardi Gras and that kind of thing there, and they're coming in for a chat about what it's like to be on the Ents team, and what drew them to Thorpe Park and all that kind of thing. So that should be good. So if anybody watching is available tomorrow night as well, 8 p.m. Nervous Chat. We've got Thorpe Park's Ents team coming in. Should be good. I'm promised some very funny stories, some behind the scenes, very funny stories. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the entertainment at Thorpe Park. I mean, I've only been there once, to be honest. Twice, I should say. That was for Fright Nights last year. I've not been there. Yeah. Well, I've not been there since the old logo. So we're probably going back like 20 years, maybe 15, 20 years. I think it had like the splash on it or something, like a log film splash or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going back some days. But and Chesington, I know, do a good job. But I know Alton Towers really do a good job from what I've seen, especially around the David Williams area, with the Gangster Granny. I don't know, performers, I should say, I guess. it's something that, talking about Disney again, Disney don't have that. Disneyland Paris don't have that anyway. They don't have any street performers. And they certainly could take a leaf out of Merlin's book with what Merlin are doing now. Disney World, Florida, probably California as well. They're everywhere. They've got bands. They've got like a lot of things going on the streets, like around the park. But yeah, you know, Merlin are really good at the street performer side of it. And yeah,
I mean, I've obviously I did Carnival at Mardi Gras at Thorpe Park last weekend, and I know when I did it last year, I criticised it and I said, you know, it wasn't great. They didn't feel committed to it. It felt like a bit of a bit part event. This year was much better, so much better.
That's because I've heard you're in it. I've seen your audition videos. I mean, they're not bad.
Don't.
I mean, they're, you know.
You know, I still look back at that video and cringe, and just wonder how on earth, you know, because I'm not that kind of person that will do those kind of things normally. It's amazing when you're incentivized, isn't it? What you will actually do.
There was a challenge going on.
There was, yes.
So you needed those 5 points.
I desperately needed those 5 points, and I think it should have been worth 10, because what Mike actually got from that was far more than the challenge actually asked for.
Yeah,
you know, he got a full-on one-on-one dance routine, for his video, which you know, I think I should have got extra points for that, but you know, never mind. But I say, so theirs is much better. And I was at Chessington yesterday for their Mardi Gras, as they call it. And what I love is the fact that it's spread all over the park. It's literally everywhere. You can't miss it.
Yeah. Is there a parade at Chessington?
I didn't see a parade as such, but I think the problem with Chessington is the layout doesn't lend itself very well to a parade. It's very, I think, because there's quite a lot of narrower walkways, I think a parade would just cause a lot of congestion. But the shows,
out of all the Merlin parks, that would be the one that would lend itself best to a parade, with like the whole animal zoo kind of thing and whatever else, and obviously Jumanji now as well.
I think what they do very well is the fact that, you know, you have the individual shows in various areas of the park, and then you've got the main stage show where characters from each of the individual shows are all featured in the main stage show.
Yeah.
So rather than a parade, they have a main show. I think that's the way they've sort of got around it. And I mean, it is very effective, and their shows are absolutely unbelievable. You know, you would never think that, you know, this is a theme park show. It's a full-on production. We need to spend some more time in the South, really. I mean, I should do. I mean, that's where my family is. Some people might say that's the reason not to.
But no, we need a good, it's just so difficult though, with like real lives and muggle jobs and kids and whatever else. And
it is.
But no, we want to spend some time, because I only really want to go to theme parks during the week when everyone's at school or at work. So we'll have to, but probably in the 6 weeks holiday that's coming up soon, we'll have to spend like just a week, maybe, just, I don't know, because we're pass holders as well, so we're not in a rush to kind of do everything on one day like you would be if you bought a ticket on the door. So you know, we need to. I need to get back and ride Swarm again, to be honest, because that's insane. And I need to get Claire on stealth as well. I need to get Claire on stealth. She's here somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If I can do it, she can definitely do it.
Yeah, exactly. She won't though. She was in the queue line with Disney M's here, actually. She was in the queue line with Disney M. Everything was fine, and then Disney M started saying, "Oh, you know, sometimes it has rollbacks." And as soon as she said that, Claire's face changed. It's on the vlog somewhere from the Fright Nights vlog. She was not interested at all in the slightest.
I must admit, the rollbacks I witnessed on Pass Holder Day this year are what stopped me getting on stealth for a very long time, actually. It took me 3 attempts going to Thorpe Park before I actually got on it again.
Oh, wow.
I was so worried about those rollbacks.
Yeah, opening day was mad. There's more rollbacks than Asda.
Yeah,
mental.
it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And then the rumors, unfortunately, were coming out weren't helping either. That there was a part missing
No.
or something, and it was, and I'm like,
Yeah.
crikey, why have they opened it if there's a part missing? It's that makes no sense. And,
yeah, we need to stay off Facebook, kids.
we do, yeah. Avoid social media, except if you're watching, obviously, myself and Nick, because that's okay. We'll only ever tell you the truth.
Yes, at 10 p.m. tonight, you can turn off social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And leave it off until 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and that's fine. You don't need to see anything else until then, and then all you get is facts.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely need to come down and spend some time down. It would be, it'd be good to hang out, and and as I said to you before, we can do it as a family thing if you like. We can parent by committee, as a friend of mine calls it, when there's more than 2 parents. It's
yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm trying to get. I mean, what's Sophia now is 10. She's starting to, like, she loves obviously Mine Train, Alton Towers, and like Big Thunder Mountain's pretty much the same ride at Disney. Wicker Man would be the next progression, because it's basically just a big runaway train, really. But
yeah,
I'm hoping, because she won't like the pre-show at all. I'm hoping that I'd be allowed to skip the pre-show and just walk through. Maybe
you can. Yes,
yeah. You can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my only concern.
That's what I had to do with G the first time, because I was really concerned that the pre-show would put him off.
Yeah.
So I spoke to the ride ops, the station attendants, before the pre-show, and I was like, look, he's really nervous. I don't think he's going to get through the pre-show. Can we just skip it? And they went, yeah, that's fine. Just go through.
Yeah.
So they're pretty
I guess
like
you would
that.
have to be, because it's quite a tight area. It's you would have to be kind of first, I guess, to go through, really.
Yeah, I think that's what they do, is they just sort of or they hold you back, I think.
Unless maybe that would make sense. Yeah, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Then
I think that's what they did. They held us back until the show had finished, and then they opened up the door and said, right, just go through.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, he loves the pre-show now, but yeah, I think it would have been a problem. It really would have been a problem on the first time. So yeah, I definitely recommend skipping that and go straight to the ride. If you can do that, it's I've got a couple of questions, obviously, around girl bands. So what I thought I would do is I've plucked a few names of well-known female singers that were in girl bands. So I'm going to give you the name of the singers.
You see, are we going to step all over tonight's quiz? Because
I'm hoping
I may have had some. I may have some clever questions in there. I'm extremely intelligent, Darren. And I
know you are. I know, which is why I went for.
Go on. Then. I'm going to have to get the red flashy thing out afterwards to wipe everyone's memory.
Yeah.
Come on, then. Hit me with your best shot.
So
as they say,
let's have a little look. So
I really like the last time we was. Sorry, yeah, you carry on.
No. Do you know what? I was thinking about doing very similar again, and then I thought, but we've done that one. What can I just do that's just a little bit different? So
I liked it because I got 5 out of 5.
I think you'll do well on this, actually, because you'll have researched a lot of this, and I think you'll be absolutely fine. But I think the first one certainly won't step onto your quiz, because this is pre the date you gave me. So Martha Reeves
and the Vandellas, is it?
Yeah, well done.
Hang on, Dancing in the Street.
Yes, it was. Yes, of course, covered by Mick Jagger and David Bowie.
Yeah, they a few people. I think Van Halen did it as well.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
It just missed out. It missed out on tonight's quiz. But yeah, Vandellas. Yeah, I got that right. Yay.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one, very easy. Like I said, I just thought it'd be a bit of fun on a Sunday evening, so I kept it's fairly simple.
I'm assuming Sister's Sledge.
Yay, of course it was.
Right. That was an easy one, though. You gave it away.
They get harder. Some of them, I was like, really? I don't remember that.
Susanna Hoffs.
We have mentioned the group already.
Do we have a decade?
70s, 80s, but predominantly 80s.
I'm going to say Bananarama, but I don't.
Ooh,
No, it's not. Is it? It's not though. Isn't it? It's not.
it's not. Anybody in the live chat want to have a guess?
Nobody knows this. It's impossible. This.
You'll probably kick yourself.
I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to put it in the quiz tonight.
Yeah.
I've not wrote it yet. I was hoping to get some inspiration from you.
Oh,
man.
do you know what? When I was doing these questions, I thought, oh, I better check with Nick that he's not included any of these in the quiz show. And then I was like, but I can't do that because if I do that, he'll know what I'm going to ask him, and then he can research the answers. And then actually, it's not going to work that way either.
Can I have a clue, but don't give it away?
I'd say their biggest hit involved a funny walk.
A funny walk. Oh, right. Bangles.
Yay!
I knew I'd heard of her name before. Yeah, that's yeah. She's not in our quiz, but the Bangles are.
Well, they'd have to be, wouldn't they? There's just
they'd have to be with their two hits.
Their two hits, yeah. And yet they seem so much bigger, don't they? You know, you think about
yeah.
You know, but
I didn't realize. Yeah, until a few weeks ago, I didn't realize that they were just all female. I thought I didn't realize that. So I learned something. This is why I'm so clever, because of the 1,400 questions that I've come up with over time.
But you retain some of it. You have to. You know, it happens. You absorb it and you retain some of it, and it'll be the most useless of the information probably, because that's what I get like with stuff. I learn the most useless information, and that's what stays in my head. And important stuff just goes. Out it goes.
That's true. You know, but anytime there's a local pub quiz, anytime there's a local pub quiz, my phone don't stop ringing. It's like,
I bet.
Whoever's going to buy me the most beers.
Why not? You've got to make it lucrative for yourself. You know, you got to work it for you. True. Next up, we've got the legend that is, of course, Nicole Scherzinger.
No, we can't have this.
Can we not?
No. I'll hang on.
If it is, I'm happy to skip it over.
Let's say
I don't want to infringe on the quiz.
Let's say it wasn't the Spice Girls. Final answer.
Correct. It wasn't the Spice Girls. I did wonder whether that might be a bit of a problem. That one.
Let's say it was a reality TV band, and it wasn't One True Voice. And let's move on.
No. Yeah.
You're going to say someone else now, aren't you? That's
well, I'm just looking through
similar.
Now. I'm sort of thinking maybe
someone else that's maybe. Oh, this is different. See, I think it's someone else. It's newish, is it? Not newish, but it's newer than the Bangles.
Nope.
Is it not? Okay.
No.
Is this? I mean, she sounds like I fight like my dad. Is it one of them?
I wouldn't say that. I don't ever remember her speaking that way. But right. The name would lend itself to that. But
it's not Bewitched.
No.
All right. I was just thinking, is my Irish accent that bad? Is it before late. Is it before? Oh, too late. So it's before. It's like 80s, 70s time, is it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Can I have a clue? Can I have a clue, please, Bob?
It's a fruity band.
Fruity band. I don't know. This is not in the quiz. I mean, she might be in the quiz, but this isn't in the quiz. A fruity band, is it?
Yep.
Like a banana. Oh, like a Bananarama.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. They are in the quiz, but she doesn't get a mention. I don't know her.
The reason I went with the singers thing, because I thought, well, the chances are a lot of these probably won't feature in the quiz. The group might, but the singers them specifically.
Oh, but not. Not old Nicole Schwarzenegger. She's in it. No. She's in it multiple times.
Yeah. Well, she has to be, I suppose, doesn't she? Here's a good one, because most people don't remember.
Yeah, because most people won't. We're not going to talk about this too much, but no one will know the other members. But obviously, it's who's going to be the Supremes tonight in tonight's quiz? And who's going to need a little TLC? Who's going to be crying waterfalls? And whatever other pun I can come up with in the next 30 minutes.
Absolutely. I think you should stop in the name of love.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know whether this one's going to feature.
Debbie Harry. She was, oh man, I forgot now. Debbie Harry. I know Debbie Harry. But
my dad would be jealous if he knew her personally.
Yeah. Oh. Give me a clue, because I've completely forgotten, but I do know her. Give me a clue though. Give me a lyric.
Give you a lyric. Oh my god.
Well, give me something.
Something.
What 70s is it?
So what was that, Nick?
70s.
It was 70s, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, it was 70s.
Oh
man.
Think hair colors.
See if the chat gets it before me. Think hair colors.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat have any idea? Debbie Harry?
Well, I was going to say Blondie, but that's not
absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a girl band though, is it?
Apparently it is. I googled it, and Blondie came up as a girl band.
I'm sure there was what was formerly known as a man in that band.
Maybe that's why it's come up as a girl band now, then, because he was formerly known as a man, or maybe they kicked him out at some point.
That was anyway. They're not in the quiz. I'm sure there wasn't an all girl band, but I mean, maybe. I mean, this is just a bit of fun. But if I did that and it wasn't an all girl band, or I wouldn't hear the end of it.
Oh no, you definitely wouldn't. You see, because there's more to play for it when everyone's doing it.
I'm playing it safe. It's tonight. It's Spice Girls. It's Girls Aloud. Sugar Babes. That's it. I'm playing it safe.
Perfect. that sounds great to me. If anybody in the live chat knows whether Blondie was actually an all-girl band, it did come up when I.
Yeah, the thing is, if you type in on Google like girl bands, a lot of the bands that come up on that kind of search screen, there's like pictures of everyone. They're not all just girl bands, so it kind of tricks us a little bit.
Yeah, and
I'll
could
have
well
a look
be what
in
happened.
Next. And then anyway, Blondie are not in tonight's quiz. I mean, they may have been at one point a girl band and not at other points. It's just the way things are.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Adventure Times.
One girl band I do remember. I don't know if you remember them, Nick. They're from the 90s. They won't feature in the quiz because nobody will have heard of them. They had one #1 hit, and then they had a follow up, which not even sure if reached top 10. It was a girl group called Thunderbugs.
Okay, they're not in the quiz.
No, I didn't think they would be. It was they were very much.
I thought you were. Yeah, I thought you were going to say someone else, but no, Thunderbugs are not in the quiz.
No, but I absolutely loved them. They were great because they were real rock chick. They'd embrace that kind of tank girl sort of thing, you know, and they were great. And they actually played their own instruments, which is always a bonus, isn't it? In more modern times.
Well, that's it, because there's been a like not a heavy debate, but just like a conversation between friends, like girl groups, girl bands, like. Is it one in the same for tonight's quiz? Yes, it is. It is. So you could I guess a group would be all singers. A band would play instruments. So the Runaways, for example, or again Bananarama, they would be considered bands. Groups would be like the Spice Girls. There you go. I told you.
No, that's fair enough.
Leave the quizzes to me, Darren.
Well, I stand corrected. I won't bring up Rihanna, though. I won't bring up Rihanna again.
But again, as I've stressed many times, the answer was correct. You know what? I was in the queue line for, an hour for Ostrich Stampede, like we've already discussed. And I was saying, like, people was overhearing us talking about quizzes and whatever else. So I was having a conversation with random people, and I said, like, this was the question. What was it? Rihanna said, what did Rihanna say? Don't lie, or something. And everyone just went hips. Straight away. So they a lot of people went for money don't lie or something, and I've googled it, I've researched it, and Rihanna never said money don't lie ever. So you would just say hips don't lie. Everyone knows that. So I'm just too smart for you.
See, my problem on that quiz was I went hips don't lie, then I looked at the artist and went, oh, but Rihanna never sang Hips Don't Lie.
Yeah.
So then I changed my mind because it couldn't be that answer because I knew who sang Hips Don't Lie.
But then you went. You probably went for one. You probably just went for a random guess that you'd never.
I did then. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, not being a big Rihanna fan, I couldn't have told you whether she'd sung anything about Me Not Lying or anything else.
That's
but
true,
I know, being a Shakira fan, that she definitely sang Hips Don't Lie with Wyclef Jean.
You're putting too much thought into my quizzes. Let me put the thought in. You lot can just pick a color.
Oh no, you see, I'm competitive like that. So I like to.
The thing is, because of like certain people in the chat and like Claire and whatever else, like people think that I'm always trying to trick them. I'm never trying to trick anyone. There's never a trick question. It is or it isn't.
Yeah.
Like it's true or false, black or white, yes or no. That's it.
I can totally stand testament to that, having done a number of the quizzes now. That never been a trick question.
Yeah.
And in fact, sometimes now that helps me answer a question because I always remember, well, there's never a trick question. So that must be, however much of a trick question it might look like, it's not, because there's never a trick question. So it helps knowing it helps.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there'll always be people that will doubt that one day you'll put a trick question in, even though you've said repeatedly, I'll never put in a trick question. I don't use trick questions. No.
I know, and like people go to. I think John Williams was an answer a few weeks ago, and the amount of messages on Instagram and everything else. You told me John Williams was never going to be the answer. But if it is the answer, it's the answer. It's a quiz. What do you want me to say?
Exactly.
And by the way, John Williams does not feature in the girl band's quiz tonight. And as to Claire's dismay, nor will the other guy. Who's the other guy? I forgot what his name is. There's another composer. I forgot what his name is now. He's got like ginger hair.
Danny
Elfman. That's it.
That's it. Danny Elfman. Yeah. Well,
Right.
I can't imagine, even with your expertise in quiz writing, you would have struggled to fit them two into a girl band's quiz.
Yeah, they did. To be honest, I didn't even think about them when I was putting it together. Normally, it's like there has to be a John Williams question, but no, not tonight, guys. Not tonight.
You couldn't have done it, could you? It's just, or if you'd have done it, you'd have been doing it purely for comedy value.
Exactly. It may have been. There may have been a girl band called John something. And it would have been, I don't know, like what was the band's name? Was it like this? John Williams would have been an answer. That was the only way I could probably put it in, but I don't know. It's not.
But then it would have been such an obscure question that people would have complained. Then, oh look, well, I've never heard of that, and you just it's a can of worms you don't want to open, isn't it? It really is.
Yes, very true. Do we have any more questions, by the way?
Yes. Has anybody got any questions for Nick in the chat?
Oh, what about? That's cool as well. But what about your questions? Or are we done? Was it 10?
I think we're done because there was 10, but there was a couple that I've left out because I think having spoken now, they might feature in the quiz tonight. So I thought we'll leave those ones. I'll send you those ones via DM later, and we'll find out. We'll find out because. I don't want to obviously ruin it for you. I appreciate you put a lot of work into these quizzes, and it's appreciated by lots of us.
I just stress that everything's gonna because a few weeks ago, for some reason, the videos stopped working, just for no reason at all, and the camera stopped working as well for no reason at all. It's I just stress that all those things, the actual quiz writing and putting the videos in and everything else, that's easy. It's just that please, Kahoot, don't listen to all the negativity I give. I'd be who would I be? I'd be Ginger was always the best, so I'd be Ginger.
I love Joey Halliwell. I think. Personally, though, I'd probably, as most people accuse me of being posh, I would have to be Victoria Adams. But who would you be, Disney?
Who would you be, Disney? But according to Wikipedia now, they're back to a 4-piece without Victoria. So she's just said no. According to Wikipedia, anyway.
She was the weakest singer.
Oh yeah, by a mile.
I do think that she was brought in purely as you know, we need somebody who's a brunette who looks quite pretty and a bit posh. You know, oh, Victoria Adams. Yeah, we quite liked your audition, but you just won't be singing.
Yeah, that's true. But I think they've all come a long way since the Spice Girls days. Like when they went off to do their solo stuff, they all got better. I mean, I'm not a singer, so I can't judge anyone on singing.
I was actually quite a big fan of Melanie C.
Yeah,
a
lot of people
album
didn't
was,
like. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she went a bit more rocky, didn't she? Which was to my taste anyway. But I think a lot of people didn't like I forgot the song now, with Bryan Adams.
Oh,
a lot of people
When
said
You're
that
Gone, wasn't it? Or
yeah, that was it. She let the song down because of her singing ability. That's what a lot of people seem to say anyway. When I did some research on it for one of the older quizzes we did,
I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Scouse English versus American sort of foil going on there. I liked it. You know, I remember buying it as a single before downloads, of course.
Yeah. Do they still sell singles? Can you still go and buy a CD?
I don't think you can anymore. I actually don't think you can. You can still buy CD albums, of course. But I don't think you can actually buy singles anymore.
B-sides have been lost as well, haven't they? Like no one, I don't think anyone does, because B-sides used to be better than the A-sides, and for some
quite
people.
often they were, weren't they?
I know, like being a big fan of Blur. Blur did like a B-side gig where they just played B-sides and none of their main songs, which was pretty cool. I think that was at Wembley, maybe early 2000s.
Wasn't Song 2 originally a B-side, and then they released it as an A-side, or as a hit?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think from listening to the guitarist's name was Graham Coxon, and I watched an interview with him. It was quite an in-depth interview in like his own private recording studio, and they were just having a real normal conversation. And he just basically said they made a song. It was like a 2-minute song. They called it Song 2, and they just played it for their record company, just as a bit of a joke, just for fun, just like thrashing guitars and everything else. And the record company loved it. So they ended up just putting it on. They put it on the album as the second song. It was the second single. Funnily enough, it came like second in the charts. It was 2 minutes long. And yeah, so I think it was always supposed to be a proper song, but it was just supposed to be a bit of a joke.
And then it was adopted by FIFA, wasn't it? As a World Cup
FIFA 98,
anthem.
yeah, the Road to World Cup, the PlayStation game anyway, probably the real tournament. But those were the days. Graphics were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And like now it just looks terrible.
Yes.
Like triangle blocky players.
Yeah, but as you say, back then they were cutting edge.
Yes, definitely
a vast improvement on the sticks that we used to get with square balls from way back in my day.
I used to play. I don't know if you ever played it or not. I think it was just called the Nintendo World Cup or something, and it was like almost like a side scroller, and you just kind of barged people out the way, and they just like lay dead on the pitch for like half hour or whatever the game was. So it could be just one person on one team versus no one on the other team. It was just a bizarre game. But yeah, best decades. 90s, man. 90s. It's all about the 90s.
I don't know. I don't know.
In my opinion. But we said earlier on, I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. So to me, everything is 90s. Anything 2000 onwards, I haven't got a clue. But 90s, I think 90s music, movies, like pop culture, I think that's where I remember everything. That's my knowledge anyway, 90s.
Yeah, I think that there is a very strong argument for the 90s being the best, because there was such a diversity in music, wasn't there? Because you had Britpop was massive in the 90s, Blur, Oasis, Spice Girls, obviously, and you had the ultimate in the cheesy pop bands, Steps, S Club 7, and all those kind of things going on, and it was so diverse. Whereas I think these days it's less so. It's become more.
It's just today. It's just
narrow.
Manufactured, isn't it? It's manufactured. It's cookie cutter. Yeah.
Or it's R&B.
Yeah. We've kind of lost, like, the music's just not got what it used to have. Like, it's got no heart and soul to it. Back in the day.
No. And you get you get one hit every now and again that it's almost like it's a longing back to the past, isn't it?
Yeah, I just kind of listen to the radio now, really. I don't really know much, but it just seems like everybody just wants a big club hit versus making a killer album. Like, it used to be like a 10-track album, every track, all killer, no filler. But now it's just like, we just want to get that big song played on the radio. DJs will play it. And that's just what it seems like anyway, to an old man like me. But bring back
agree.
Music.
Yes. And albums and
albums.
And it's because it's like you say, I think a lot of the music streaming services have killed albums, actually, because you can just now play whatever you want. You don't need to listen to a whole album for a couple of good songs.
Yeah, it's a different world. Like, it is. Same with, like, the cinemas are dying because of, like, Disney Plus or Netflix or Amazon or whatever else. So it's a different world, really. Different world to the one we grew up in, Darren. And we're trying to adapt.
Whereas we were used to going out to get these things, whereas now they're just literally streamed into our homes. We don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah. But I think music has gone. Like, music has been lost. Like, drums, guitars, bass guitar, and a singer, like a good 4-piece band, and they were the best times as well. Like, I love going to see watch cover bands, not cover bands, but tribute bands, cover bands, I guess, just bands in pubs, basically bands in pubs. They just play songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Guitar, bass, singer, and drummer. And just drinking a beer while you're watching these bands, and it's the best time, really. But it's just, music today don't have that.
It doesn't. No, you're right. It doesn't. It's and you go to a concert these days, and it's not so much about the music; it's more about the performance.
Yeah, or the choreography and all that stuff.
It's I think the last concert I went to was Pink, and I mean, great singer, and actually, I love all her songs, and it's amazing.
Yeah, but it's the
show was just phenomenal, and there was a lot of people there that were probably just there for the show side of it, where the music was kind of incidental, and I think it is a shame. It's killed music, and that is what it's become now, unfortunately. But as long as us oldies are around supporting these tribute bands and that, because as you say, there's nothing better than going to a pub and there's a live band,
I mean, I like all live music, but I like proper music. I like all sorts of music, but when it's drums and guitars and singing, like, that's where it is. Give me some Black Sabbath, some Beatles, some Led, proper bands that made music back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even the girl bands, like Martha and the Vandellas.
That's it. Yeah. They had a great drummer, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think I'll let you go, Nick, because obviously your own quiz starts in about 20 minutes time. So the off license is still open. Tell Claire to get down for the prosecco.
We've got some, I think, somewhere. She's never short of prosecco. Don't worry about that.
Good.
She's upstairs. I think she's sorting the kids out. So she'll be here for it. It won't just be me, gladly. So hopefully everyone in the chat will be playing in about 20 minutes time. Girl bands, all the way 1964, I think it is, all the way up to 2020. Good fun.
Yeah,
real simple stuff.
I will definitely be playing. If anybody in the live chat wants a quick link over, at the end of tonight there will be an automatic redirect. Just click on it and it will take you straight over to the quiz. So it's that simple. The transition is like that. It's magic. Just end of the show, click on the redirect, over you'll be taken straight over to Nick's quiz. Couldn't be simpler.
Yeah. We play on Kahoot as well, so there's no answers in the live chat or anything like that. So push a button basically. I think everyone in the chat has played at some point anyway.
I think they have. I recognise most of the people as previous players, so that's it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Sunday nights is a good night as well, I think, because let's face it, Sunday night TV is pretty dire. So it's nice to have something a bit more sociable and sort of friendly to do like that. So yeah, I think Sunday night's a good choice.
Cool, man. Well, I need to knock back 10 beers and get ready for the quiz.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get your sparkly jacket on, your Quizmaster gear on, going. And
one day I will. Whenever we do a live quiz, eventually that will happen one day in real life. I'll do that. I'll go full on to do that. Hey, Claire's here. Hello. All right, she's putting her face on, whatever that means.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah.
Oh, bless her. Cool. All right. Well, I will see you, Nick, in about 20 minutes.
You will do. You will do. Bye, guys.
I'll see you in a bit. Take care for now.
Bye, guys.
See you in a minute. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. So that's it. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. If you joined us, it's just a little bit of fun, a bit of an excuse for me and Nick to have a catch up and a bit of a chat about and put the world to rights. Theme parks and not related. Always enjoy having a chat with Nick. We've become good friends over the course of the last few months. Since getting to know each other, so it's always good to have a catch up. And unfortunately, because of the north-south distance, I don't get to see him very often. So sometimes things like this are a great tool for a bit of a catch up, and obviously to get people's input as well from the live chat, which is always very much appreciated. So thanks for spending some of your Sunday nights watching tonight. As I said, once this live's finished, there will be a redirect available at the end. Click that redirect. Get yourself over to Nick's Walking with the Woods YouTube channel. Ready for the girl bands quiz. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely awesome. So until then, it's goodbye from me, and I will see you all in Nick's show in about 20 minutes time. Until then, take care for now.